Hi guys, it's me, Kristy, and I am here with my sweet friend, Miss Dedra McDowell.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Dow from, what's that movie called?
Oh, Coming to America.
Coming to America.
No, not Lisa.
Which is kind of funny though.
It is.
Anyway, so I wanted her to be here today, and I wanted to talk about a few things. And you know, I'm trying to start this whole video blog and to create some awareness about careers and fashion, and just to kind of shed some light on like the realities of what is going on, especially for people who are our age, who were kind of raised to believe that, you know, you work hard and you get the promotion, and now it's like you work hard and
maybe something will happen.
Maybe something will happen, maybe not. You gotta be it's a different ball game out there. So let's start with that.
Yeah.
So tell us about who you are and what you do.
All right. Let's see. We'll start at the beginning. So my name is Dedra McDowell. I am an online fashion writer.
I like it.
Is the way that I like to describe it.
Yeah.
And so what I do, I work for an e-commerce site, and the department that I'm in particular, we write the product descriptions for all of the apparel and home goods and accessories,
which is really helpful. Everybody always reads
yes,
them.
Yes, and so we try to be descriptive for you all. So
Yes,
that's what we do.
Yes.
And so for me, I always knew what I wanted to do. I always knew that I wanted to write about fashion. And so got a degree in journalism. So there's my writing part.
Where'd you go to school?
Went to Western Kentucky University.
Right.
One of
Was it WKU?
Yes, one of the best journalism schools in the country.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
For many, many years.
All right.
And so I majored in journalism, and my minor was textile and apparel merchandising.
So you always wanted to work in fashion and writing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so that was the way that I thought that I would prepare myself. And so upon graduation, I'm like, okay, here I am.
Yeah.
I have this degree that says that I can write, and I can write about fashion. And got out of school, and it took a while for me to get a job.
How long did it take you to get a job?
So my first job out of school,
like your first real job.
Oh yeah, I was a secretary for a hospital.
See, not even in her industry.
Yes, not at all. So I was a secretary for a hospital for about a year before I got a job at an actual newspaper that would allow me to write about fashion.
Is that when I met you? Is that when
this was probably about 4 years into when we met.
Okay.
And so this newspaper was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Oh.
And so I started in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I had an amazing editor who allowed me to do a Monday fashion column. Like it was just, she was like, if we're gonna get you here, I'm gonna get you doing something that you love.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't just covering fashion initially, but that was, I had a great editor who allowed me to do that. Yeah. And so the thing about that wasn't a position that I was able to walk into on my own merit, so to speak. Yeah. I had a few friends who were in the newspaper industry as well. And so it was all about those connections there.
So was it through your sorority?
Yes. Yes.
It's all about those connections.
Yes,
I'm telling you. I miss that about college.
Yes. Oh, college.
Oh, college.
But so one of my friends worked at a paper in Tennessee as well. Spoke to a publisher who spoke to a publisher who spoke to the editor who was like, hey, let's take a shot with this kid.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I met Dedra when I had just got home from my fashion experience in Chicago.
Yes.
And I was just in the paper for my Saturday Style something. So that was fun, and she saw me in there, and then she contacted me, and I was like, who is this person? Because I was unaware that Louisville had like all this stuff going on, but I was happy because I was like, sure. But then I was like, I'm not really a makeup artist, but I'll fake it just to get the exposure.
Right. Exactly.
So I went there to meet her, and I saw her, and I was like, oh, she has natural hair.
Right.
She looks like me. Well, not really. Way better.
Yes,
way better.
We got the hair going.
But I was just like, wow. I didn't know that was even like a thing. And so I was glad that there was like a industry for that here in Louisville, because then I was like, I'll find a job, which I did. And then once I did find that job, who was there?
I know.
She was at the job.
Yes.
So it was like a full circle moment where, you know, we connected and have stayed connected for
and it was
a while.
Really one of those.
Almost 8 years.
Yes, it was like In the Color Purple. Yes. It was one of those moments because it's so rare that you find genuine people in the industry that you're going to connect with and then stay connected with. And so when she came back to me, I was so excited.
I mean, because this is Dedra's Louisville, people. You all don't know. This is Dedra's.
No.
But it's true because it's like when I first was gonna come home, I talked to a guy who worked for a big company here in Louisville, and he told me flat out, he was like, if you plan on moving back to Louisville, Kentucky, you need to change your hair. And I was like, what happened? Why do I gotta change my hair? And he's like, you'll never work if you look the way you look. And I was like, what does that mean? I feel like
cold world.
I feel like I'm professional looking what I want to be. I could put on a shirt and some slacks and a blazer if I want to.
Right.
But you know, working in fashion, we go to job interviews completely different.
Oh yes.
We don't do the whole traditional things. We don't like a traditional lifestyle at all.
No, it's not the power suits for fashion interviews.
Yeah. So did you face any like backlash being natural and trying to find a job? Did anyone ever mention it, or were they always kind of like, whatever, what's on your resume is more important?
Yeah, I think I was lucky in that aspect. I know a lot of people who do who wear their hair naturally, and they feel like for the job interview they have to straighten it or tame it some sort of way that's not the way that they usually wear it. But for me, I was lucky that in both creative fields that I've ventured into, that the hiring team was just like, hey,
that's good.
We like
blessings.
It. Yes.
Blessings
on blessings on blessings.
So getting to the natural hair thing. So what is your favorite part about being natural, and what is the thing that is like a misconception about being natural?
Oh yes.
Because we talk about this all the time.
Oh yes, we do. So the biggest misconception that I think that people have about being natural is that it is easy.
I told y'all that.
Right, like that you don't have to do anything, that you just wake up and walk out the door.
And that's just lies.
Lies from the pits of hell.
So how long, so if you're getting ready for bed at night and say you know you have something to do the next day, how long does it take you to prepare yourself for that next day hair-wise?
Oh my goodness. So let's see. So we're not going to count the time of washing and deep conditioning and detangling.
How often do you deep condition?
I do it monthly. I should probably do it more because my hair is really dry, but yeah.
Isn't it always the things we should do?
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be steaming our hair at some point.
Oh yeah.
I'm not steaming my hair.
I haven't steamed in a very long time.
I probably should though.
No, I should. I should. But yeah, for me, for the actual setting of my hair, I can do that if I'm being lazy in about 30 minutes. And then there's the drying time. I sit under the dryer because my hair does not dry.
Okay.
I sit under the dryer. My hair will not be dry by the morning.
Oh my god.
So that's about an hour under the dryer, and then still waiting for the 8 hours that I.
Do you twist before you go under the dryer?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, my arms hurt just thinking about twisting up your hair.
Oh yes, it is a task.
Isn't it so weird though? Because I thought when I went natural that my hair was gonna just grow like crazy, and then I was just gonna like wash and go every day, like spray, out the door.
Oh no, I do not have a wash and go. I know friends who do have a wash and go, and their hair just with water and nothing. But with me, I have to do work.
So what would it take you? Actually, what would it take to make you go back to relaxer?
Oh my goodness, that was okay. So I will say one thing that I do miss about having a relaxer isn't really about the styling of my hair.
Right.
It's about the salon experience.
I know.
Yeah, and so I don't go to the salon as much as I did when I had a relaxer, and so I sort of miss that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see myself sitting through the relaxer process again.
I know. Well, I always think about like the heat damage. Because that's the one part that I used to like. I used to fry my hair because it took a lot to get my hair like that silky smooth straight, because I always look grainy and maybe I just don't know how to do my hair, which is probably a thing because, you know, I've just never been that girl. But some people are so good at it.
Yeah, I could get a good roller wrap together.
There you go. Roll it up.
That was my thing.
When I was in college, people used to make fun of me because they said that I walked around looking like Oprah because my roller wrap was there, and I would put the little Velcro rollers in my hair to give myself some extra volume.
Yes, you gotta have the bump. You gotta have the bump.
You really do, but no, Anyway, let's talk about fashion.
Fashion, yes.
So right now in fashion, I'm a little frustrated because I feel like it's so fast that people aren't even recognizing quality anymore.
Ooh.
So are you a fast fashion girl, or are you like I buy the staples and then I'll buy like some Forever 21 sequin skirt that's like $1?
Oh, exactly. So I am all about the staples. I am all about quality.
Yeah.
I am all about the quality. I like the look of fast fashion. I do. But I am a staples girl.
Yeah.
Give me my staples,
Yeah.
and I will venture out. I love a good vintage piece.
Oh, speaking of vintage, let's talk about Dedra's other career.
Oh yeah.
What do you do, girl? Let's talk.
So I also I've always loved vintage clothes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. But at the same time, like when we were kids, like it was like nobody wanted to go to the Goodwill, and
because it meant you were poor.
right. So nobody wanted to go to Goodwill. Nobody wanted to go to thrift shops. But like as an adult, it's
you can't get there fast enough. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Like,
oh my
that's
gosh.
where I find all of my vintage. Like I go through stores like several times a week.
I mean, you have to though, because you never know when someone's gonna drop off like that key piece.
Right, exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly. And so, I sell vintage online. Window seat vintage.
Window seat vintage.
Yes.
On was it Etsy or?
It's on Etsy. It's also
on Etsy.
a standalone. So windowseatvintage.com. So yeah, and it's for me, I'm most interested in your 60s and 70s pieces.
Oh,
yes.
Wasn't that our era?
It was.
We should have been there.
Was.
Well, maybe
no.
not. We were there in spirit.
In spirit, yes.
Power to the people. But
yes.
I have 2 dresses from Window Seat, and I love.
Yeah.
But you never know. Like when I lived in Chicago, which I'll probably say that a lot because I did a lot when I lived in Chicago. I went to a vintage shop and I bought a Gucci bag for $50. Okay, so I was young. I didn't even know how to find the serial numbers, blah, blah, blah. So a few weeks ago, I was going through my stashes of all things, and I found that bag. It's actually over there. I found the bag, and the serial numbers in there. Come to find out, it's a real Gucci bag.
Yes.
And the inside of it just needs to be redone. But back then, I didn't even know what it was. I mean, I knew what it was, but I was just like, it's a Gucci bag.
Yes.
Oh, no. It's a Gucci bag. And so I'm like, wow. I mean, it has like a hard like gold tag. I mean, it is like hardware.
My best vintage find as far as bags go, I found a blue ostrich print Chloe bag. Circa like the 70s, yes, like numbered, gold tag, everything. Found it at it was at Salvation Army for $2.
Where?
The one in Indiana. Salvation Army.
You know what?
Yeah, Indiana.
So
Indiana.
Don't even get me started. I know. That's
your
right. That's where I used to live.
Yeah.
Oh, Indiana.
Yes.
It's just some diamonds in the rough over there. Oh my gosh.
They didn't know what
I'd
they
cry.
had.
I would cry. I mean, what's your favorite vintage shop in town?
Let's see. If I'm shopping in town, so here's the thing. You have to be really careful with vintage not to look too costumey.
Right?
And so
that's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
And so Elizabeth's Timeless Attire, she was amazing.
Where's that? Is that on Frankfurt?
Frankfurt Avenue. Yes, but I believe that if it hasn't happened already, I believe Elizabeth was closing. So that was a beautiful place. So if you never made it there,
oh, that's sad.
It is sad.
Was it next to a catering place?
Yes.
I have been there.
Yes.
See, I struggle with my personal style because on the one hand, I feel like I get caught up in the whole like looking like a Kardashian like everybody does, you know, like doing tone on tone and whatever. But then I find myself digging into that like Southern girl, and then I want to be like very like classy and traditional. But then the real Kristy is like probably a V-neck T-shirt and some jeans or denim on denim, like I always do.
And that's the beauty of it, though.
So I
like,
can
be all of these things.
Yeah, and that's what I have to convince myself of. Like I can be whatever I want to be, and I think that there's not a lot of people who feel that way.
Right. I think people try to put themselves in too many categories, and then you hinder yourself that way. You know?
Yeah. It's good to have variety.
Yes.
Very nice. Well, thank you. We're out of here, but I just wanted to talk. little chit chat. And I'll be doing this from time to time with different people. And we'll be talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of riches. Yeah? Okay. Well, see you next time. Bye. If I can cut this off.